Hey guys, I'm Nicole and welcome to my garden. I came out here, it's like getting to be evening and it was cloudy, and so I thought it would be a good time to come out here and film this video for you guys, just show you around a little bit and how everything's doing. And it's starting to rain, but it's just barely drizzling, so I think it'll be okay. So I'll try to do like a quick run through. I might have to stop though if it starts coming down harder. But this is my raised bed garden. My husband and my sons built this for me about 3 years ago when we moved to this house, and I just love it. It's just such a nice, wonderful, relaxing place for me, and I don't know, I love it. It makes me feel close to the Lord, and it's just amazing. So this garden, I actually am growing many more flowers than I normally grow in it, and then on the other side of the house I'm growing more vegetables over there, and so that's what I'm doing this year. And so this has just been such a fun space for me. I've really been loving it. Right over here, these beds, this empty bed and then the one next to it, you can see my bolted lettuce is where I had lettuce, and I've pulled up all the lettuce from this first bed, and I just planted some dwarf sunflowers. I actually did that in 3 different beds, and so I'm going to have some of those coming up. I do have more that will be blooming soon, but just so I can have kind of a succession planting of the sunflowers because I love them so much, I did that. And then this lettuce, I'm just pulling up and giving it to my chickens a little bit each day until it's gone. I have strawberries over here. These are ever-bearing strawberries, and they still are giving us some strawberries. They aren't giving us as much as they were at the beginning of the season, but they still are giving us some. And there's also a little bit of wildlife. There's some squirrels that have been getting in here and getting the strawberries. At this point, I don't know, I guess I'm not too concerned about it, but I think for next season I'm definitely going to figure out maybe a netting or just something that will help prevent that. And then over here I have asparagus and strawberries, stuff like that in this bed, and I have carrots that I desperately need to pull. These empty beds were where my onions were, and I just pulled them, and so I'm starting to plant some sunflowers in their place. I know I could put another vegetable in its place, but I am just being a little bit more, I don't know, I'm not trying to plant quite as much as I planted last year. I still have some things that I preserved last year that are, you know, on our shelves, and so, or in our freezer. And so I'm not doing, I guess, quite as much preserving as I did last year, which has been nice. It's been a nice little break. So carrots, and over here, back there, I have Mexican sunflowers. I'm really excited to see how these come out. My daughter, who's 17, last year she planted some in her garden, and they were huge. I mean, they were almost like, it seemed like they were twice as tall as me. I'm not sure if they were that tall or not in actuality, but they were so big and they were just beautiful. And so I'm hoping that they will take off and do well. And over here are some of my dwarf sunflowers. I've got a couple of different beds of these. I love them. They're nice and compact, and they have the prettiest little sunflower heads. I bought just a pack of dwarf sunflower seeds from Amazon, I think it was. Last year, I think it was like $12, and there were so many seeds. I still have so many seeds. And so I planted like 75 to 100 the other day in these empty beds, and so I'll be having even more. And in this empty space right here, that's where some of my onions were, and I probably am going to plant cosmos there. I have a little patch of cosmos further up, and it's just so pretty, and I really like to add a little bit more orange to the garden. My husband's favorite color is orange, and whenever we go to the garden center, he's always like, get the orange flowers, and so I really like the orange cosmos, so I'm going to plant those. Over here I have more of the dwarf sunflowers. I have some tomatoes. Those are not doing wonderfully. They're more shaded, and then I have other tomatoes on the other side of my house that are on a drip system, and I'm really concentrating on those more. But these were just some extras that I threw in the garden. I haven't really been fertilizing them or doing much to them, but just giving them, you know, a chance at life, I guess you could say. And then over here I have some peppers, and let's see, I've got some overgrown lemon balm and oregano. You could probably see it just falling over into the walkway. I really need to cut that. I did give it a trim the other day, and I gave that to our chickens as well, and oregano is great for our goats too. I have some daisies here, which these have just given me so much joy. They're so pretty. This was just a little plant last year, and it's grown so much this year, so that's really exciting. And then along with the daisies, I have these cosmos growing, and I just have this little tiny patch of them in this first raised bed. And so I am going to put some, I think, in the raised bed back there I just showed you, and then also in another one that's going to be empty, probably the one with the bolted lettuce. I'm going to put some cosmos in there. And then I also have some sunflowers that are just, I don't know actually why they are growing, because I just had dwarf sunflowers in this area last year. But I have these two really big sunflowers that are volunteers. So yeah, I'm not quite sure where they came from. Maybe they came from a bird. And here I have dahlias that are yet to bloom, but I'm so excited about those. I kept those, or I overwintered them in my basement, just in a cardboard box last year. And so I'm excited about those. They are just like the really big blooms, and I really love those so much. And this another, well, I just showed you the sunflower, and then over here I have our pole beans. And I've been so disappointed because our beans have been really decimated by Japanese beetles this year, and I see more on them right now. I've sprayed them once, which with an organic spray, but it didn't really do any good. And then we've been coming and picking them off and putting them in like soapy water. But yeah, I've never had Japanese beetles mess with my beans before. When we moved here, there was a lot of muscadine vines. It's all in the trees, and we pulled those down because they were just really like haphazard everywhere and just kind of messy looking. And the first year we were here, before we pulled them down, hey Mabry, some of my girls have come out to be with me in the garden. Yes, you can. But anyway, and so the first year we were out here, we noticed that there was so many of these Japanese beetles on the muscadine vines. And so once we pulled them down, I think that might have been a mistake in that we took away like their main food source. And so they've started to really like attack my other things. They really like my roses, but this year they like my bean plants more than my roses. I just don't understand it. But I have 3 raised beds of bean plants, and so I do see some little beans forming, and I'm hoping and praying that before long, you know, these guys will be out of here. But they've been really a bother, and yeah, so just seeing this just, oh, it makes me so angry. I'm like, I need to spray them, but now it's raining, so if it stops raining, I might, before sundown, come out here and spray them again with something organic. I have some echinacea growing, and this is just some wildflower mix that I purchased from, where was it, Tractor Supply. Right here I've got, oh my goodness, okay, these are not doing well at all. These are cucumbers, but wait till you see my other cucumbers on the other side of my house. Like I said, this is just where I put some extra things. I just didn't really care. But honestly, I think I actually planted seeds here, and they just like, I planted too many together, and I never pinched them, you know, down to just like one plant in the right area. And so yeah, but they aren't doing great. I kind of stunted. I probably need to pull out some of those plants. And maybe that would be helpful. I think it would be. But since it's kind of drizzling, I'm just going to go to the other side of my house quickly. I do have a little bit of a different area behind this garden, but I'm not going to go over there right now. It's pretty much exactly the same as it was the last time I filmed a video. So I'm not going to bother with that right now. Sure. But they want to go see our goats, and I said, absolutely, that's fine. Over here, I do have some plants I just got at Ace Hardware. Yeah, and I think you just saw some of our trash too. That's about to go to the dump. But anyway, I'm so excited. I'm going to be planting these soon. These are all great for pollinators mainly. I do have a few hostas that I'm going to be filling in this hosta bed with. And then I got 2 oak leaf hydrangeas. They were $10 at Ace Hardware, and we had some Ace rewards. And so, you know, we usually buy our animal feed there, but we were actually at a different location that didn't have animal feed, and we were just in that town, and the rewards were about to expire. And so I bought plants, which I'm not going to complain about because I really love plants, as I'm sure you know. Real quick, this is the deck my husband has been working on. I'm so excited. He's actually gone right now to get the stuff for the railings. And we're also going to replace that door and replace the window when he's also working just on the whole foundation of this house. So yeah, I'm really excited that he's at this project. This has been something last year I was really hoping he'd get to last spring, and he just didn't get to it, which I understand he has lots of stuff going on. But I'm really excited about it. Okay, so this is my other garden. I've got some cardboard right here because I'm going to put some of it on the in the walkways just to kind of suppress weeds, because I have a lot of weeds going on right now and it needs a little bit of help. But I believe this is a candy roaster. It is doing good. Then I have the dwarf sunflowers, and then also just a mix of different sunflowers. I'm not sure what all they are. I think it just came as a mix, so I don't know exactly what I'm going to get. And here I've got my squash and zucchini plants, and they are doing really good. They are like loving it over here. I top dress this area, or my son's top dress this area rather, with goat manure or goat compost last year, and they love it. And all the plants over here are thriving. We had enough to do like 2/3 of the garden, and you can just tell a really big difference between the part that had that manure and then the other section where I just bought store-bought stuff. Over here, this is my cucumber patch. It has been doing amazing, and so I haven't been giving too much worry to the stuff on the other side, because this is what I have here, and I have so many cucumbers. I don't know what to do with them. I've got to actually start pickling them, but I have so many pickles from last year, and so I'm not sure what to do with them. I really like to do something other than pickles, but pickles is just like the easy thing that I know how to do. But yeah, it's doing amazing. And then I have some amaranth just sprouting up because I had amaranth in this section last year, and so those are some volunteers. I've got some really tiny okra growing right here. I'm hoping that they do okay, but the cucumbers keep trying to crowd them out, and so I'm not quite sure. And then I've got peppers and tomatoes, and this, you can tell it's messy. I have been coming out here with a hoe, and I've been trying to keep everything a little more tidy, but it's just been difficult to keep all the weeds at bay. Last year I used a mulch over the area, like in the walkways, and I didn't this year, and that was a big mistake. So lesson learned. Next year I'm gonna try to do better with that. But yeah, like oh my goodness, I'm so pleased with all of this. It's hard to harvest it. I probably should have planted things a little further away. I really do try to maximize the space as much as I can. And I kind of push the limits sometimes with how close I plant things together. But anyway, so I'm very pleased with all of this, and I cannot wait for these sunflowers to start blooming, and then the ones on the other side, it's just going to be so pretty. And that's just one of my favorite flowers of summer, is the sunflowers when they start blooming, so I'm really excited about it. But the rain is starting to come down just a little bit harder, and so I'm going to stop this video now, I guess. And thank you so much for stopping in with me today, and I will talk with you soon.